FREE to 833-898-0500. Text FREE to 833-898-0500.
Are you a veteran living in Florida? Do you want to earn while you learn? Call 954-434-8220 or visit our website at nsied.org now. Are you a veteran living in Florida who wants training in farming, ranching, and allied services? Are you a veteran living in Florida who wants help with job placement? Call 954-434-8220. North-South Institute Veteran Training Program is a mix of online and hands-on in-person training designed for you to earn while you learn. Once you register for the program, you'll get a stipend of approximately $300 per month for 3 months. And you can get an additional stipend to offset your travel expenses. You can also get another $75 for referring a veteran who completes the program. If you are a veteran living in Florida, call the North-South Institute Veteran Training Program now, 954-434-8220, or visit our website at nsied.org now.
The Golden Spoon Diner and Seafood Restaurant, a true New York-style diner in Ocala. Try our breakfast special of 2 eggs served with home fries or hash browns and toast for just $4.49. We have an all-you-can-eat catfish special daily for $14.99, and Thursday through Sunday we have prime rib. Happy hour for food starts at 2 p.m. The Golden Spoon Diner and Seafood Restaurant is located at 5400 Southwest College Road in the Heathbrook Commons Plaza. Open daily from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. We will see you soon.
Listen up, Ocala. If you got your share of those dwarf ever-blooming azaleas at Bob Wines for just $3.99, well, Bob has sold thousands, but they won't last forever. They've even extended their hours open daily till 4:30 so everyone can get their azaleas. And check out the other inflation-fighting deals this week. Gorgeous spring annuals, take your pick from hundreds. They're just $2.29 each, or mix and match a giant tray of 18 for just $34.99. Outstanding yellow and peach daylilies, just $8.99 when you buy 6 or more. And spring veggies, you name it, Bob's got it. Jumbo 4-pack, just $4.49. And camellias during the Camellia Show, starting at just $19.99 in a whole range of your favorite colors. Don't miss hundreds of price-busting deals in the greenhouse at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, now till 4:30, Saturdays till 3, in the same blooming place for 70, count them, 70 years.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
You're having another great day and you have good taste tuning into WOCA The Source with Ocala Talks and Tom Schmitz. Well, 1 out of 2 isn't bad.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Tuesday. Coming up at 9 o'clock, Caroline Baldwin, Master Gardener Caroline Baldwin will be here for In the Garden. Matt Gibbs will be here for Auto Repair with Personal Care from Sunrise Auto at 10 o'clock. But Galen, joins us from Life South, brought to you by the good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, Penn Flooring, and Just Shipped. Galen, we've been talking high school athletics. One of the things that got me is that the Florida State University High School basketball coach, the head basketball coach at Florida State University High School, he was 100% behind this initiative. And, if Charlie Ward's okay with it, I'm okay with it.
Well, Steve Ward, and again, and I was going back and forth with the Ultimate Troll this morning, and he thought this was a terrible idea. And this is what I told him, and it changed his mind instantly. I said, well, I'm on the side of C. Ward, and you're on the side of Thomas. And he's like, what? Thomas is against this? I'm like, yep. He goes, this has to be a good idea.
It has to be a good idea.
Yeah, and again, look at who's for this, and then you really can't look at anybody who's against it, because I think even the private schools are like, yeah, there's no real reason for us to go beat up on West Nassau if you're Bulls.
89% of the state champions in the last 10 years have come from the 5 metro cities: the Orlando, Jacksonville, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Tampa. That's just fact.
Absolutely.
Fact.
And again, I'm glad Price Harris was there because I think he's a guy who didn't necessarily have a dog in this fight.
Nope.
But he will now that he's going to Madison County, and I'm being told that's a done deal. So.
I talked to some people that said unless a certain job opens in a state above us that may open, but it may not open until next year, he's at Madison County.
Yeah.
There's a job. Sure. There's a job a state above us that he would really like to have, but it may not open until next year.
And if he got that job in South Georgia,
straight cash, homie.
He would make
straight cash, homie.
He would make $300,000 a year.
Straight cash, homie.
It's the same job. It's the same job.
Let me tell you. I have a friend of mine that is a defensive coordinator for a school in South Georgia. That he teaches high school at the school. His high school paycheck for teaching is about 52 to 53% of his high school coaching check.
Sure.
Because the boosters pay the coaches.
We used to be able to do that. You can't do it anymore.
Well, you can, but the administrators control the booster money now. Yeah. It didn't used to be that way.
But what happens is every other sport, and you can't have a special fund just for the football team or the baseball team or the basketball team. It goes into a general fund, and every coach taps into it. Right? Again, I've said this before. The basketball team didn't have basketballs, Vanguard. I had to buy basketballs for them. You know, I mean,
when I was in high school, the football team had a booster club. The baseball team had a booster club.
Absolutely. But you can't anymore.
Let me tell you something.
You can't anymore. And even any money you get from a concession stand, you're like, well, that's got to go back to the team. No. It goes
football
back
concessions
to
went to us.
General fund.
Football concessions went to the football team.
Football concessions go to the general fund.
I know. And they frown upon now. Local restaurants providing game day meals for teams and everything. I mean, we used to go eat at the Western. We used to go eat to get Western Steer on Lim Turner. That was where we went and ate. That's where we went and ate dinner before we played football.
And the Western Steer was glad to have you.
100%. Home of the West Nassau Warrior football. Proud home of the West Nassau Warrior football program.
But again, I get it. It's a different world. I get it. I understand all that. But again, I don't know. You and I are preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
As long as administrators continue to want to make more than their football coach, even though their football coach matters more, then we're going to have this problem.
Well, let's switch gears and talk about. Go ahead.
State of the Union.
Switch gears and we have another problem. Tonight, the president will address the nation. He will talk, of course, about his foreign policy. He'll talk about the number one thing America wants to talk about, inflation and the economy. But he's doing it under the guise of now there's a large group of Americans that are answering Ukraine's call to be foreign fighters. There's a lot the president's got going on right now that he needs to talk about tonight.
Well, let's see what he talks about and how long it goes. I heard during the break the news saying he's definitely going to talk about inflation. I wonder how he's going to blame that on the previous administration.
No, it'll be the Ukrainian. It'll be the Ukrainian situation right now.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe he can do that. It'll be interesting. The State of the Union's always something. They don't have to wear masks this year.
And what time's he go to? What time's he taking his nap today so he can be able to function at 9 o'clock at night? They put him down about 3 o'clock this afternoon. About 3 this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm sure they woke him up early, and then they're trying to get it so he doesn't sunset.
No, get him.
So they'll probably wake him up at about 5.
Well, his peak time is usually between 3 and 5, but that's when I think they're going to put him back to bed.
Maybe. But I am sure he is drugged up and ready to go.
He's like Pink from the Wall. comfortably numb.
That's right.
I do believe it's
That's right.
working
No,
good.
sure.
You can make it through the show.
No, what they're probably telling us, look, you can have ice cream after.
Yeah. Look, we'll have three teenage girls with nice shampooed hair that you can smell and some ice cream.
That's right. Yeah, well, they don't even have to be teenage.
Right.
We'll let you smell some hair later
Right.
with ice cream.
Yeah, with some ice cream.
What
do you think about? Because you're a veteran, you served in combat, and so you've seen combat. What do you think about these Americans and Canadians that are former military that are creating militias that are answering the call to go to Ukraine on their own dimes to fight in this insurgents by the Russians into Ukraine?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of torn on it. It's not a new thing. Mercenaries have been around since the beginning of time.
As long as there's been war, there's been mercenaries.
Yeah. So, it depends on what they do once they get over there.
I think though that the show by the Ukrainian people that we don't want Russia to take us over, that we're committed as a country to fight this, has led to the rest of the world going, maybe we need to help them.
Oh, there's no doubt. The Ukrainian people have won the PR war, right? They have
changed your mind.
They changed my mind. But again, at the beginning, I said that. They got to fight for themselves first. And they've done that. So good job to them. Now let's see what the rest of the world, and when you turn Switzerland, you've done something right.
See, and that's the question I want to know. How big is that Switzerland yesterday came out and said, yeah, we can't remain neutral on this. This is wrong. We're taking a stand. And years and years and years, hundreds of years of neutrality. Nope, not going to do it this time. We're taking a stand. That's a huge deal to me.
I think you're absolutely right, because every other bank in the world follows suit. So you wonder, and you don't hear about it as much, but what happened with the Caymans, right? What happened to Monaco? What all these other entities where they're nothing more than banking, and that's where they make all of their money. How did that change? I'm curious. And again, somebody will tell the story, but we just haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, Switzerland announced yesterday that they would, in fact, adopt the European Union sanctions against Moscow, freeze Russian assets located in all its banks. In addition, the government of Switzerland adopted sanctions specifically against Putin, Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin, and Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, saying in view of Russia's continued military intervention in the Ukraine, the Swiss Federal Council took the decision on February 28th to adopt the package of sanctions imposed by the EU, and will continue to do that until further notice. That for a place that gives you the guard for the Pope because of its neutrality, it is the world banking leader because of its neutrality. That says a lot about where they think and why they think Russia's not doing the right thing here.
Yeah, and again, but that's all turned, right? Now, the UN's going to say something today. It's all kind of turned because of the Ukrainian people, right? And look what they've done now. Like, no Russian athletes, right? Russian athletes are getting kicked off of teams all over the world. Russian teams aren't allowed to participate. They haven't because of the anti-doping thing. But they're talking about banning them from the Olympics, and it's fascinating, and it's all because of the Ukrainian people.
How about
this?
this?
2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, we all knew he was going to invade, but we also didn't think it was going to take this long. We thought, oh, okay, he'll take over that country in a week.
Russians aircrafts,
No.
passenger commercial aircraft, no aircraft coming out of Russia can fly anywhere over Europe. That airspace has shut down now. Russian planes cannot. So what do they got to fly towards China is the only way they can get out of the country.
Well, and it's deeper than that. I know the Ukrainians want to put no-fly zone over the Ukraine, that will start a war, right? The second you do that, now we're in the war.
Right.
Because in order to have a no-fly zone, you have to enforce it. That means we're going to have to put people in harm's way, and now it's not your problem, it's our problem, and I think that's still a step too far.
And FIFA, Soccer's international governing body, announced Monday it was issuing an indefinite ban on all Russian teams. And Formula One, your favorite, the race in Sochi in September, canceled. Not going to have it.
And not only that, they're not allowing Russian sponsorships.
No.
And so, again, the Haas team, their driver who's Russian is not allowed to race. They haven't made that concrete yet, but it's 99% there. This is fascinating to me.
The Champions League soccer tournament, which is the biggest soccer tournament in Europe, was supposed to be held in St. Petersburg. Nope, not going to happen.
Yep. Yeah. Again, this is where we're at. Again, this is the power of the Ukrainian people, and it's fascinating. And you know what's interesting? I know young people don't care about many things, but the young people seem to care about this one. This seems to have touched a nerve with a lot of individuals. Like my son, my 21-year-old son's following it pretty in-depthly. Because I told him, I said, son, he goes, this is wrong. I'm like, in 2 weeks, no one will care. And he texted me last night. He goes,
it's been 2 weeks.
The world cares. Yeah. It seems like the world cares. And I said, yeah, it's because of Ukrainian people. It's fascinating.
I thought that this was how the world would react. I said it 2 weeks ago, that I hoped this was how the world would react. But you're right. I think the world only reacted this way, and it changed your mind because of how the Ukrainian people reacted. The Ukrainian people gave a damn, right. So the world gave a damn.
That's exactly right. And they hadn't before this. So, again, good for the people. You know what I mean? Good for the people.
So, I don't know if you saw this story or not, but I just have to laugh. How often have you flown out of the Orlando airport?
Oh gosh, I don't know. A lot.
100 times probably.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I promise you, when I was traveling on the road playing cards and all a lot, I've flown out of OIA probably 150, 200 times easily. And there's always some sort of carnival-like show that you always see somebody being stupid. You know what I mean? There's one or two people that just do something dumb. Like one time a guy caused a terminal to shut down because he walked away from his luggage, and a lady goes, hey, what are you doing walking away from that luggage? And it was right after, about 2 years after 9/11. Sure. And he cussed her out and went to the bathroom, and then they shut the whole terminal. There's always something dumb going on. But a wild scene went on at OIA that was caught on camera. A man went on a tirade as he was about to board his United Airlines flights to New York. And the video the bystander took of this, the unruly traveler, his name is Ryan Martin of Yonkers, New York. He's yelling, he's cussing, he's taking an aggressive stance towards the people at the counter. They pulled the alarm to alert the police. He's like, nobody's touching him, but he's screaming, don't touch me and everything. And here come the police, and he turns to the police and goes, what are y'all going to do? And they immediately tase him and drop him like an oak. And I'm sorry I'm laughing, but this moron, there's certain ways you have to act in an airport, and this moron is doing everything he can to get tased. And boy, those airport police light him up. It's one of the funniest things I've ever said that I've seen in a very long time. And I bring it up because you can't get crazy in an airport. And this guy's drunk and crazy. He goes, I only had a few drinks. His bar tab, his receipt said he'd had 7 drinks while he was waiting on his flight. Only had a few drinks.
You love these stories.
Oh.
You love these stories.
If you're going to be a moron and it all gets caught on video, I love every minute of it. What's not to love?
You love to see people at their worst.
And I'm thankful every time I see one of these videos. I said this, I was talking to a friend of mine that saw this video too. We talked about it yesterday. I go, every time I see these videos, I love them because it shows a moron just being stupid, and you know he's going to get his just due for being stupid. And then I also go, whew, thank God nobody had camera phones when I was that age.
Oh, and again, you love. I'm always amazed how much you love these stories. I don't know how I can't add anything to it. Yeah, drunk idiot, bad.
But you know, I'm just saying I'm glad that there was not cameras when I was a drunk idiot. A lot of times in my life,
Right.
A lot.
Got it. I can't. Say
You ever
much
been a
more
drunk
than that.
idiot, Galen? See, that's the thing. You've never been a drunk
Many
idiot.
times.
You've never been a drunk idiot.
No,
That's the
many
thing.
Times. Many times. Many times.
You saying that there may have been some times leaving the late night library or Bullwinkles that you were a drunk idiot?
Yeah, many times.
I loved it. By the way, back in the day, the late night library was one of my favorite places in Tallahassee. Just so you know. It's one of my favorite places.
I didn't go to school in Tallahassee, but I have been there.
But
many,
you went.
many
You knew a
times.
lot of the guys that went to school in Tallahassee, and you hung out with them.
Well, my little brother went there for 6 years. He didn't actually go to FSU, but he acted like he did for 6 years.
Well, hey.
He went to TCC for 4.
And you got to hang out with him.
Oh yeah, we had a
You
good
live
time.
vicariously through your little brother. Let's be honest.
I mean, I was in St. Augustine. Nobody really, just the Canadians.
Yeah, you had a
laid
terrible
back.
college experience at Flagler. I forgot. Yeah, terrible college experience.
Now the Navy, we did some things.
Well, yeah, but that was in foreign countries.
you're
That's foreign countries.
Yeah, you nobody was videotaping me in Thailand. I can tell you that.
So got about 7 minutes left. I want to ask you a question because you're a objective bystander because you don't have a dog in the fight. This year, the Florida Gator basketball program, the men's basketball program, fighting to try to get to 500. Not Coach White's best year, but usually.
Whoa. He's never had a great year. He's
the
most overrated coach in the SEC.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you because there's a lot of people. I've talked to Gator basketball fans. I had an in-depth conversation with a Gator basketball fan that's a big booster with them and everything last week, and they said, "Look, here's the stance of Florida fans, and I want to know from you whether you think it's just because mediocrity's okay." They're like, "Look, Billy caught lightning in a bottle with some great basketball players. Okay, Billy had great basketball players." Everything came to fruition with those guys. Remember, they were a number 6 seed the first year they won the national title. And the next year they came back, they were the odds-on favorite, but they were the 6th seed the first year. That Coach White gets people, he's going to win 18 to 22 games every year. He's going to get you where you finish in the top half of the SEC most of the time. You're going to make the tournament. Every now and then you're going to make all the way to the Sweet 16. Some years you're going to make the Elite 8. Every 10 to 12 years, he's the kind of coach that might get you into the Final Four. And that's what the Florida basketball program is. This is Florida people telling me this. And I'm thinking, I don't think so. But this is Florida fans telling me. And here's the adage. I go, so you don't think he needs to go? And here's what they answer. Who are we going to hire to take his place?
Well, I mean, there's a million guys you can hire. I think Mike White's been given plenty of time. I mean, they're 18-11 right now, 8-8 in the SEC. That's the important part. They beat Georgia, but Georgia's pretty terrible. Again, they
did beat Auburn, number 2 Auburn at home.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a strange game for Auburn. It was probably the best team in the country. Yeah, I mean, they got Kentucky coming up, and then the SEC tournament in Tampa. So
why does this guy get a pass from? Why do the Florida fans give this guy a pass every year though?
Well, COVID saved his job 2 years ago. There's no doubt about that. Absolutely saved his job. So we'll see. And again, then they got the ADs in all kinds of trouble, right? That doesn't help. I'm curious. I don't know, Tom. I really don't know. I don't know if he survives it. He's got to make the tournament. Florida State may make the tournament, and that matters. How he does compared to Florida State and Miami and USF. We'll see. I don't know. I'm tired of figuring out how he saves his job.
I was very surprised when I was talking to this booster over the last week when we talked about Billy, and that it was, that their thought was Billy's a very, very good basketball coach, but the planets aligned. He got the right people in the right places at the right time.
Well,
none of them were thought to be blue chippers except for Joakim Noah at the time. I'm not a Florida fan. I'm a North Carolina basketball fan, so I don't know the whole history. But
that's not true. They were considered the Fab Four.
But they said,
remember, the Fab Four when they were recruited.
They said, remember, they were a 6 seed the first year they won the national championship. And they were the odds-on favorite the second year. But that, it's not something people, I was like, well, Florida should be competing for a national championship every year. And they're like, no, once every 8 to 10 years, make the Final Four, get in the tournament almost every year. That's where Florida basketball should be. And I thought, that doesn't sound right to me.
Okay. All right. This is anybody who says that Fab Four team, who they called themselves, wasn't highly recruited. It's not paying attention. Al Horford was one of the number one players coming out of college. He came out of the Bahamas in the country. Corey Brewer was a highly sought after. He was a 4-star player. I mean, what are we doing? Joakim Noah, agreed, was the best player, but you know why he came to Florida? Because they had Corey Brewer and Al Horford. Come on.
You didn't it had nothing to do with Yannick Noah liking the state of Florida and working at Nick Bollettieri's tennis school?
Well, that helped. That helped. But again, that's why he came there, because he liked Al Horford.
Nick Bollettieri's tennis school, which is now IMG Academy, by the way.
IMG. Again, come on. What are we talking about here? Whoever said that, it doesn't know what they're talking about. And again, let's remember that Billy Donovan could recruit his butt off. Who else could have gotten white chocolate?
That's a good point. Good point.
Williams is one of the most fascinating players to ever come out of.
Hey, Galen, where's the Bloodmobile today?
That is silly.
Where's the Bloodmobile?
Tell your friend he's silly.
Where's the Bloodmobile today?
Today, we're at the Publix out in Bellevue, so come see us there. But as always, we're right on the boulevard and at lifesouth.org.
Galen Unall, the next head football coach in the rural. We'll provide you a rural job. Galen Unall.
I would not take it.
You would not take it. Well, Bellevue's hiring.
Would not take it.
You and John Ivory could be assistant head football coaches.
John Ivory has decided he's no longer going to work with Bellevue High School in any way, shape, or form.
Galen, talk to you tomorrow.
They screwed that guy.
Galen, talk to you tomorrow.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pride.
Vladimir Putin and Russian soldiers continue to bomb indiscriminately, killing everything in its path on day 6 of the invasion in Ukraine. More than 70 Ukrainian servicemen were killed by a Russian rocket attack, and dozens of civilians have died in the shelling in the past 24 hours. This as a massive Russian military convoy approached the capital, Kyiv. Ukrainian authorities at the United Nations describe a text message between a mother and her dead Russian soldier son.
Mama, I'm in Ukraine. There is a real war raging here. I'm afraid. We are bombing all of the cities together, even targeting civilians. We were told they would welcome us, and they are falling under our armored vehicles, throwing themselves under the wheels and not allowing us to pass. They call us fascists. Mama, this is so hard.
The fencing around the U.S. Capitol is back up for the President's State of the Union address at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. USA Radio News.
Have you or someone you know used heartburn medications Zantac or ranitidine and been diagnosed with cancer? Zantac and ranitidine have been positively linked to cancer. According to the FDA, Zantac and ranitidine contain NDMA, a known cancer-causing agent. NDMA has been positively linked to cancers of the bladder, pancreas, esophagus, liver, and stomach. Even in single doses and in smaller doses over time, NDMA is one of the strongest proven cancer-causing agents. Call 888-960-1233 or go to ZantacMoney.com. You may be entitled to substantial compensation without going to court if you or a loved one have taken these products in the past 10 years and been diagnosed with cancer. Call now to see if you qualify for free. Call 888-960-1233 or visit ZantacMoney.com to get what may be owed to you. You may be entitled to a cash reward. Find out now at ZantacMoney.com or call 888-960-1233 to see if you qualify for free.
Gain-of-function research and COVID-19 has Moderna's interest.
After people like Dr. Rand Paul, the senator of Kentucky, has spent the last 2 years talking about the possibilities of virus enhancement or gain-of-function research. In an interview with Fox News, Moderna CEO Stéphane Bancel said that is a possibility.
My scientists are looking into those data to see how accurate they